Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Junior.
And I didn't go on vacation recently.
And we're the Nerdy Bros.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back to me and to you. But welcome back to me because I just came back from vacation, like Tito said.
Yes, and I didn't get to go.
That's all right, Tito. There's always next time.
Nah, I'm going to go by myself.
Okay, fine. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Anyway.
Anywho.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Bros podcast.
Yes, the podcast about nerdies and bros.
About nerdies?
I don't know what nerdies is.
About nerds and brothers. And bros.
And other nerdy bros that maybe aren't blood related.
Or nerdy sisters.
Yeah, nerdy people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's called Nerdy Bros because we're brothers, okay? Don't hate us.
Or hate on us. All right, anyway. We're getting into the weeds for no reason.
We're getting into the weeds. I don't even know what that means.
Tell me, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
Since I was gone.
Since you've
been gone.
Since you've been gone. We're just going to be doing more music on this episode.
All right.
I don't know. I've been working a lot of overtime. Haven't had too much time for myself, but did get some time to do some of the stuff that I like to do that we can get in a little bit later here. But as always, you guys, once we start this episode, we like to do something here called Junior's Hot Take. And this is part of the episode where I ask Junior about something new and upcoming and get his hot take and hot opinion on it. And recently, Junior and my best friend Troy recently brought to my attention that Horizon Zero Dawn and the Frozen Wilds are free on PSN. So if you're a PlayStation player and you haven't tried those games, you need to get on them because they're pretty awesome. Junior has the platinum on Horizon Zero Dawn, and as far as I'm concerned, you still haven't played the Frozen Wilds?
No. I mean, it's like, again, DLC. It's not main story, and there's just other games to play.
But I'm sure there was addition to the story. Troy did platinum the game also, and he also played the Frozen Wilds and said it was an amazing expansion to it. But that was just a prequel to not a prequel, but I mean a prequel to what I'm about to ask you about, which is Horizon Zero Dawn: The Forbidden West. Junior, what do you think about that?
I think it's something that I want to play and also get the platinum on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Horizon game was fantastic. I love Aloy. She's a great character. I like that now you get to play as more female characters now. Like, I did a game, Control. You also played as a female. So I like that there's more like main character female games being made. But yeah, Aloy was a badass. And she uses a bow, which is like my favorite weapon of all time. So yeah, super into that. All these different kinds of arrows that you could use, crafting different arrows was really, really cool. And killing mechanical dinosaurs, which was awesome.
Yeah, you can't get much better than that. I remember I don't think I watched you play like a single second of it. I think you were still, I think we weren't living at the same place at the time.
No.
So yeah, so I think you platinumed it. And
yes, we were.
We were?
Yes, but I went away. I went away, and that's when I beat it and got the platinum.
Oh, yeah. But I do remember like you had popped it back in to kind of show me, and you were at, like the final boss kind of like checkpoint, and you couldn't remember like what you were doing. But yeah, like her main weapon, is that bow, and then her melee is like that spear. Mm-hmm. But she has a bunch of other weapons though too.
Well, it's like traps that you can set.
No.
Like
she has
traps.
No. She has I think what's it called? Was it called the trap shooter? Or
say that one more time.
The trap shooter.
Oh, okay. So then it's just traps. Thank you
you
for fucking
but it's not
saying what.
It's not it's the tripwire. It's a tripwire shooter or something. You set up two tripwires.
It's just traps that you set. They explode.
But it's like, hold on. Well, if you hadn't interrupted me, because she has the bow, then she has the tripwire shooter, then she has a freaking slingshot that is like essentially kind of like a grenade launcher, and then she has like a Gatling gun that like shoots different types of like needles and stuff. So she has more weapons than just the bow.
I don't think you're right about the last one.
Yes, I am 100% right about the last one because it was one of my favorite weapons to use during the game. And there's two different bows because they can I think it's like a hunting bow and then another one because they can only certain bows can use specific types of arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So you did swap between 2 different bows.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still definitely a third-person shooter by all means. Yes,
it was just a bow. For the most part, it was just bows.
I mean, I used all the other stuff too.
Yeah, I just used the bow, and that's pretty much it. The game is about having a bow. You get the gun way later, and it's not as good as the bow. So
I wouldn't say way later because there's upgrades of all the versions. But anyways, we're getting past the point of without necessarily having to spoil.
I don't know
ending.
anything about the Forbidden West other than like the trailer that I've watched. I don't know anything about the story whatsoever. I know that now there's going to be like underwater monsters that you're gonna have to fight and stuff.
And underwater exploration, obviously.
But other than that, like I said, don't know anything. I just want to go into it blind, really. Love the first one. Gonna play the shit out of this one. Hopefully I have a PS5 by then. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you ride a lot of the animals?
No.
No. Okay, I also did, and I wanted to see if that was just a mistake on my part.
No. Like I did a little bit, but
you had to download them or do something with your spear, right?
Yeah,
to,
you used your spear to take them over. But yeah, I don't know. It's not that it was like a bad mechanic. It's just that you could like ride a deer, and there was kind of like a horse looking one that you could do. But yeah, I didn't really do that. Yeah. I would much rather just run everywhere.
No, yeah, I mean, I definitely feel the same. Even like in Breath of the Wild,
but you got to collect stuff. So.
Yeah, I didn't like riding the horse either because I constantly felt like I was just going to be missing stuff. So yeah, definitely hoofing it always ends up being semi better for me, unless of course I've already cleared out the map and I'm just trying to get from point A to point B and there's no fast travel.
Which I think there was fast travel.
Yes, I think you are correct on that.
So yeah.
All right, cool. Moving things right along, guys, we come again to a fan favorite segment known as
Anime is an important part of our culture.
And speaking of this week's segment on that, I did finish, as I was saying, Your Lie in April, actually a few hours before we did this.
I didn't know you finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, it was good. It was a nice slice of life anime. The issue with it was I knew more or less what happened at the end, and I was
more or less like I've known the ending for forever.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if anybody's ever talked about it, that's the one thing they talk about. They immediately spoil the ending.
And don't do that, guys. Like if you're trying to get friends into animes or even talking with other anime friends, like don't just immediately give something away because not everybody's seen stuff. But yeah, it ended differently than what I thought it was going to, but it was still pretty gut wrenching. Like I definitely teared up at the end there. There was a couple other spots where I was just like, "Ooh, this is getting me." Didn't see how some of it was going to start out, but yeah, definitely slice of life. The musical scores in it were fantastic. They even played like when I think you were watching something else in my room while I was finishing it up, and I was just like, "Hey, isn't this the Sleeping Beauty theme?" And you're like, "Yeah, I have that." So that was kind of cool to find out that that's actually by like a super famous composer. I think we talked a little bit about Tokyo Revengers on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 2 came out this week, and it's still looking like it's just going to keep getting better. I did mention at one point an anime called Eden Zero that has the exact same art style as Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were just like, dude, there's Lucy and Happy right there. And they even named the cat Happy also. But so far it's been, it's obviously different than what Fairy Tail was, which is an anime about a guild of wizards. But there was kind of this one funny part because they go to this hub world because this is an anime about traversing through space and stuff. And at a table is sitting Levy, which if you're a Fairy Tail lover, you'll know who Levy is. She's the girl that uses like script magic. And then like the two guys that are always with her, I know one of them's name is Joel, but I can't think of the other ones. But they're just the spitting images of them, just completely background characters sitting at a table. And you're just like, oh my God, that's them. And then Happy is like a robot cat that turns into twin pistols for the female lead in that anime. So
Is it voiced by the same?
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch another episode of Fairy Tail to really say. Like, I don't think the main character.
Oh, but you're watching in Japanese, right?
Well, yeah, but still, it still could be the same. I don't think the main character is voiced by the guy that voiced Natsu. I don't like. Again, this hasn't necessarily come out like on. It's not on Crunchyroll or Funimation yet, as far as I know, which were two of the biggest streaming services. Mm-hmm. I think I saw something rumored about it might come to Netflix. I just like Googled it to see if I could find any episodes, and I found the first two. So they might already be airing in Japan, and then somebody somewhere else is just subbing them and putting them somewhere online. And if you're an anime watcher like me and you look out for that, then yeah, you find them. But yeah, so I watched that. It's probably definitely something that I'm going to be keeping up with. And then beyond that, I am just extremely excited for getting to see the
Mugen Train.
Yeah, Mugen Train, which is next week for us.
Yes.
Yes. But what about you, Junior? Anything to add?
Segment over.
You weren't going to talk about?
Nah.
No?
I'm just talking about it right now. What have you been doing and what have you been watching and playing, Tito?
I mentioned that I beat Dragon Quest last week, so I've been working on that platinum.
Yes.
What is it? I got what was it called? I don't know. It wasn't just the normal version. It's not called the golden. I can't even think of what they usually call it now when they.
The Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, Ultimate Edition, Golden Edition. Yeah. I don't remember what name they gave this one, but there's these optional quests where you go from like playing in 3D to like a 2-bit version. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot in that game where you have to like so many optional quests for that. And that's one of the trophies that you have to finish.
Did you say 2-bit? It's 8-bit.
8-bit. Oh, I meant to say 2D, not
2D.
Yeah, 2-bit. Yeah. You 2-bit, I don't know what that is.
You 2-bit son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, yeah. I meant 2D, but yeah, also 8-bit. So I was hanging out with my best friend last Saturday, and I was going through some of that stuff, and it was just kind of getting boring. I actually know like what the next part of the story is supposed to be, because I guess there's still like a chunk of it left after you beat the main storyline, but it involves like traveling back in time. And I don't want to do that yet. I'm trying to make sure that I do everything post-game that I can before I do that, because I'm not 100% sure what changes. As far as I'm concerned, though, like I looked up, and they definitely said that all trophies can be get like in the aftermath of the game. So, but either way, like I'm trying to be a wee bit cautious. I finished like another season of Shameless. And it's kind of funny because originally where I had stopped, I stopped because I was like, oh man, this show just keeps getting worse and worse. And I don't think I can keep like watching this. This is just completely depressing. I'm not going to say it got more lighthearted necessarily, but they haven't like dropped down to like the point where it was originally. So I have been enjoying that every now and then. And then beyond that, yeah, I was watching Your Lie in April. Oh, I finished season 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I was wondering when you were going to say that.
And I'm like well into season 4. I just think the third one wasn't my favorite. Like that was it.
So the fourth one's pretty good though?
The fourth, yeah, I like the fourth one right now. It's pretty sweet. The third season, Diamond is Unbreakable, just kind of ended up feeling like every villain they had eventually just kind of became their friend. The fights to me weren't as intense as they were in season 2 when they originally introduced the psychic stand power. But the final villain of season 3 was actually really cool. I really liked his ability. If it wasn't so over the top and like super cheesy, I think you would like it, because a lot of the times the fights don't end up being decided over like who's stronger. It's like they do, it almost becomes like a thinking man's game on how to beat each other, instead of just thinking like, oh, I punch harder than you do. Mm-hmm. And some of the stand's powers are like really cool. But yeah, so I'm enjoying season 4. And as soon as I'm done with this, since I already finished Your Lie in April, the only thing I think I got to do is, I think I only have like 2 episodes left of The Promised Neverland that for whatever reason I didn't finish as they were coming out. But as soon as that's done, James, I'm looking at you. I'm staring right into the camera. I'm looking into your soul. I'm going to watch S. Cryad, okay?
We'll see.
Yeah. But beyond that...
Beyond Two Souls. You always
finished,
say Beyond that.
I don't know. I finished the King in Black, that comic book series. It's awesome. I really enjoyed it. Junior brought me back the last issue from Texas because we couldn't find one. Well, I wouldn't say we couldn't really find one.
We didn't even go.
Well,
kept trying to ask you to go, and you kept making up excuses for why you couldn't go.
I was just really tired and constantly sleeping. So yeah, I finished that, and I also got the compendium for 1, 2, and 3 of Invincible, which is a new show that we've been talking about that we've been watching. So I started reading that. I might finish Compendium 1 and then maybe go back and read the 2 Avatar comics that I still have to read that are mine. And then beyond that, I said it again. You said it, and now I'm just going to keep noticing every time I say it.
Yeah, you say it a lot.
But after I'm done with that, I'll be done with my comics until like jumping back into Compendiums 2 and 3. I do think it's kind of a little funny that you mentioned earlier when you saw me like reading the Invincible comics, you were just like, don't you want to just see what's going to happen? Because I constantly say that I refuse to read manga because I don't want to ruin what's going to happen in the show for me. But I will say this, more often than not, mangas tend to really follow what's going on in the story. There's not usually
the other way. Anime follows.
Oh yeah, anime. Yeah. They don't usually change too much. Most of the time, the complaint is that they left stuff out, but they don't really change kind of like the main story. Some do. Like I heard Tokyo Ghoul was very bad about changing stuff. I've heard that The Promised Neverland people are very upset because it seems like the anime rushed to the finish instead of just going through everything that happens in the manga series.
So like season 2 is the end of it? It's just 2-season anime?
I don't know. I want to say I think, but I'm not sure because again, I haven't finished season 2 yet.
Well, why not? Isn't it over already?
The manga series? I don't know. Again,
not the manga, just the anime in general.
I don't know. I haven't looked that up. Again, if I would have seen an ending, I probably would have had a different answer.
I thought there was only like 12 episodes in season 1.
There was only, but yeah, sometimes they do that. I mean, they did that with My Hero. My Hero only had 12 episodes in season 1, and then the following season obviously had more episodes.
Yeah.
So that still has yet to be seen. So yeah, and then beyond that, I said it again.
No.
Why can't you just let me have like a word that I say all the time? You had to mention it.
Because it's just weird that every time you say it, I immediately think Beyond Two Souls. As if we already saw it. I didn't play it. Yeah. But every time you go Beyond That, I just hear Beyond Two Souls in my head.
Well, it's better than constantly just going,
Well, no. I mean, everybody says besides that. Like that,
beyond that.
For whatever reason, that's more normal than Beyond That. Byakuya.
Byakukuchiki. I don't know where I'm at anymore. Oh, I was going to say Full Metal Alchemist and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I think, are like the only 2 series that one was kind of completely apart from what they did in the manga and the other one was way more closely related, which is why sometimes whenever I hear somebody say that they like the original over Brotherhood, it just blows my mind because it's like Brotherhood is what followed the manga series like closer than the... I don't want to say it was garbage, but
yeah,
I mean,
but again, like you just said, people are upset when they deviate with other animes, but I'm sure that you don't go, nah, I don't like that anime because they deviated from the manga because you don't read the manga.
That is true, but then I do say that like when it comes to like DC movies or Marvel movies though, because of the comic book lore that I know, so I do end up saying.
So you're like on one side for one, but on the other side for the other one.
Well, but the difference being is I don't read the manga, so I don't know. Yeah. I only intake the anime. But I digress. What about you? Tell us about your vacation too.
Well, I've been gone for like 4 days, so I haven't really been. I haven't been playing any video games whatsoever. I like took my DS to like try to beat the Elite Four and Cynthia.
You didn't do that on the plane?
No, I watched a movie on the plane.
Oh,
actually, I watched 2 movies. I watched one on the way there and one on the way back. So yeah, I didn't play any video games at all whatsoever. Yeah, I've been watching some movies. So on the plane on the way there, I watched Buddy Games, which, if I'm being completely honest, was really, really funny. Really, really funny. But they basically stole the idea of Tag. Remember that movie?
I do remember that
Where
movie.
the
The movie's
adults play
hilarious.
Tag? Yeah.
Well, it's not just the adults play. I mean, well, it is adults that play tag, but it's a game. It
They
was
started
based
as
on a
kids.
real story, and they've been doing it.
Yeah.
Ever
So
since.
this one is called Buddy Games, and it's basically the same premise. A bunch of friends, they've been doing these things called the Buddy Games since they were young kids, and they're still doing them as adults. And there's always like a winner that's crowned, and it stars like Josh Duhamel, Dax Shepard. What's that dude's name? South Beach. Nick Schwartz.
Nick Schwartzen.
Yeah, him. Are you sure it's not Schwartz?
It's Schwartzen.
All right, whatever. Nick, that guy. The dude from you watch this show, Psych, the main character.
I mean, I don't know his actor name.
Yeah,
And
but-
I only saw a couple episodes. I wouldn't say I was an avid watcher.
But him, and then there was a guy that I've only seen in one other thing where he played a senator in the show Veep.
Yeah, Schwartzman. I was right.
Yeah. So all these friends, they've been doing that. But it starts with one of the friends getting losing a testicle at the beginning of the movie. And then it's like fast forward 5 years later, and
Wait. Are you saying like
in the movie? I'm talking about the movie.
To an like he loses it to an accident, or he loses it to like to testicular cancer?
No. First of all, that doesn't matter.
Well, it would, because then it would be a complete kind of like rip off of Tag, because one of the main characters in Tag ends up like having cancer.
Okay, well, no.
Okay, that's why I said like
He gets his testicle shot by a paintball gun,
oh okay
and it ruptures, and then. Well, anyway, I
Every
don't want
man's
to ruin too
greatest
much,
fear.
but that shit happens. 5 years later, they get back together to cheer this dude up, and a shit show ensues. It was really, really funny.
hilarity. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I watched that.
How old is that movie?
It's brand new.
Oh, okay.
I'd never heard of it, but it was brand new. While I was in Texas, I watched the first 3 episodes of Invincible again, because I got Megan and some of our cousins' kids into the show. But we also watched New Mutants, which I hadn't seen yet.
Oh, nice.
That was like one of our first episodes when we talked about New Mutants, and you had seen it and I hadn't.
How did you like it? Well, it was in October. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah.
I liked it. No, I came out in August of last year, which is when we started the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was cool. They obviously talked about Essex Corp, which is the same people that engineered Logan's daughter and all the other kids from Logan.
And if they would have done it correctly, it's also where Mr. Sinister comes from. But whatever.
So yeah, that was cool that they kind of tied stuff into that. I was trying to figure out that one girl's power, though. I never really understood it.
Which one? Like the main character or the one that had the dragon?
Yes, the one that had the dragon.
She was able to, she was able to either enter a realm of imagination or just straight up enter like this other realm. And that's where she got like her sword and her armor.
Right.
And then whenever she brought her little dragon with, it also changed in that other realm. Like
So she had to bring it into the realm and then come back out of the realm, and then the dragon would come to life.
Yeah. That's how it happened. But yeah, it was definitely from, it was either her own imagination realm that she created and she could go back and forth in between, or it was just she could enter that realm and that realm had stuff for her.
Yeah, it was really cool. So the movie is on HBO Max now, by the way. So that's where we watched it. So we could rewatch it. Well, I mean, I just recently watched it. So, but anyway, yeah, it was really cool. I enjoyed it. the huge bear scene and all that shit, that was really cool too. That bitch got fucked up.
The bear?
No. The lady that was keeping him there.
Oh, yeah.
So I watched that. And then on the way home, I watched Kid Detective, which you need to watch. And I want to rewatch it because the sound quality kind of sucked on the plane.
No. Were these like movies?
But it was
like,
awesome.
Did you?
American Airlines, dude, planes now. Everybody had a TV on the back of the seat in front of them.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, is this just the film that they showed for everyone to watch, or okay.
Everybody could pick? The kid in front of me was watching Happy Feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good movie. I hear people wanting something. What? Me.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
So we talked about him in the last episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I watched those 3 movies while I was on vacation. And let's see. So I finished Megalo Box.
Oh, you did finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How many episodes was it?
13.
Okay.
Amazing. Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I finished it. I don't even think I talked about I started it on the last podcast.
I think you started it after. Didn't
I
you?
think I started it like right after we done the last podcast.
Yeah, because you said you were looking for something else and then stumbled on that.
Yes. Well, I was gonna watch another different anime, which now I will watch. But then I found this one that looked cool, so I clicked on it, and then I was like 7 episodes in. I just got sucked in. But yeah, now I finished it. It's only 13 episodes. The anime is basically about enhanced boxing. Like the fighters wear like exoskeletons on their arms and back and stuff. And yeah, it was badass. It's about this dude that has no name. He just goes by his fighter name, Junk Dog. And then he wants to join this Megalomania is what they were calling it. It was like a tournament to be like the best fighter in the world.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he couldn't join it.
Is there a Hulk Hogan boxer?
He couldn't join it if he didn't have an ID. You had to be like an official citizen, and he like lived in like the restricted zone or whatever. So they like take a deceased guy's, they like hack it, they change the faces so that's his face, and he names himself Joe, and he becomes Joe. And then as a fighter, he fights without any sort of exoskeleton. So
he doesn't use one?
No.
As a fighter? Okay.
No, that becomes his gimmick, and he becomes Gearless Joe.
Ooh.
So yeah, badass, super badass anime. Totally 10 out of 10 would recommend.
How old is that one? Because the animation
pretty new, like 2018.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. I did because I saw some of the episodes that you had kind of been watching, and the animation did seem like a little bit older. I didn't know it was that new.
No, it could be like maybe a little bit older, but it also could be a little bit newer. It could also be 2019. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it was badass.
I'll definitely have to check that one out too.
I still been watching Twin Peaks. I'm like halfway through season 2, and there's only 2 seasons.
Oh, there is only 2 seasons?
Then I'll have to watch the movie, and then there's like a reboot that only had like a few episodes also. I don't think it's still ongoing. So yeah, I'll have to watch the movie and then watch the reboot.
Wait, so is the movie like are we talking about the same Twin Peaks where people talk about it was just super weird and random?
Yes.
Okay, and that follows the show? Like
the movie is the last days of Laura Palmer, which is the dead body, the woman that gets killed. Well, technically she's a girl. She's a 17-year-old girl. That is the body that gets discovered at the beginning of Twin Peaks. So and the movie is like her final days when she was still alive. Okay. So technically it's a prequel.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much all.
Did the movie come out first or did the show?
The show.
Okay.
The show started in like 89 and lasted 2 seasons. I think it ended in 90 or 91. And the movie came out a little bit after that.
You said it's supposed to be kind of like a serious show, but the way that they film it to kind of be somewhat like satirical, right?
They like make fun of they make fun of like
a drama series, right?
Yeah. But like more, they make fun of soap operas. Basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, soap operas are all filled with drama.
Yeah, like telenovelas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on all the ones that Mom watched growing up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like shit after shit after shit keeps happening to these people until the very end, where they finally live happily ever after. But anyway, vacation was good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went down to Dallas, met up with Jamiezy 3000, a friend of the podcast, as well as a YouTube friend, and he took me around. We went to some cool places, comic book shops, went Funko Pop hunting, went to get some good food, and yeah,
apparently too much food from what you said. And
had a little
heartburn.
bit. Yeah, had a lot of fun. But anyway, speaking about Funko Pop hunting, Tito, I thought that this week we could talk about collecting.
Some collecting of stuff.
Yeah, like
knickknacks, paddywhack. Give it a talk bone.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give it a talk bone. Yeah, just stuff that we collected as kids.
I mean, you can see some of the stuff just straight up on our table.
Right, exactly.
What? Okay. What is something? Let's start off this way. We'll try to traverse through time here. What is probably one of the first things that you thought that was collected?
Like in general, or like we collected?
Let's start in general, because we can
stamps.
Get stamps.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think right after stamps, then I would have to say coins.
Yeah, I mean coins, money, coins and paper money for sure. I mean, Dad.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good collection.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that map he had?
No. What map?
The map of the U.S. Because remember, quarters all had a state on the back of them.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever completed it, but I remember that. I remember him always looking to see if he had any new states. I don't remember how far he got.
He must have completed it because they stopped doing those a while ago. Now they're just like making like random quarters now. Sometimes I'll make like a random quarter. They might even make another state coin again, but just with a different image than from the original one that they released.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dad, I think I would say like Dad would be the one that got us into collecting, because like Dad collected old coins from like different countries and just old coins in general, as well as old bills from other places and stuff. And then he kind of started little collections for us from his main collection. And that's kind of what got us into collecting stuff, because even I collected some cool like dollar bills. I had like a 1941 dollar bill that had Hawaii stamped on it.
Ooh.
Which was in brown ink, I believe.
Also was probably right around the time that stamps and coins were starting getting collected. Also baseball cards.
Cards, basketball cards, yeah.
I want to say, but baseball in general being kind of, America's pastime, I'm not 100% sure to say that was the very first sport that was made into a league in the U.S., but I mean, I feel like that was definitely probably the first one that started putting out cards.
Yeah. And we had a big old box of baseball cards, Topps cards.
Yes. Didn't we get those from like a family friend? Yeah, like he was just like, oh, he's getting too old to collect baseball cards, so here you go. And they gave us a bunch of baseball cards, and to be honest, never went through them. At one point, because I thought they were really cool, I also bought like a few packs of baseball cards and stuff. I remember pulling like a Mark McGuire card and stuff like that, and be like, oh man, so cool, whatever. But do you still think some of them hold value or no? Hell yeah, they do. Okay. Hell yeah. Actually, while we were on vacation, Megan and I went into a sports memorabilia like store, and there was like a signed Michael Jordan jersey. Oh God. For $20,000. Woo! Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man. That's so much. Yes. And they had a Kobe Bryant one, RIP, for $10,000, signed Kobe Bryant for $10,000. And to me, that seemed crazy, because I was like, Michael Jordan can still sign jerseys. Yeah. Like, granted, this is probably his jersey that is signed. Like, because you could always buy a Michael Jordan jersey. That's true too. And but there's also like, did he sweat in this? Right. Like that, right. Yeah. And I was like, Kobe Bryant is now no longer with us. Mm-hmm. So this man cannot sign anything anymore. So I would think that his shit would be worth more than Michael Jordan's, but I don't know. sometimes like I understand the prospect of that, but in
No
my
LeBron, by the way.
what?
No LeBron stuff, by the way.
Yeah. No one needs it. I understand the prospect of that behind it, but it's always just kind of sad that like, you know, even if obviously Kobe made like a very wealthy living and his family was well taken care of with his job and how good of a basketball player he was. But let's just say like if, for instance, he was an artist and like, let's say his art wasn't doing that well and then he dies and all of a sudden it does start doing well. It's just kind of sad to the point of like, okay, well, you know, now instead of him being able to, you know, enjoy his life for the art that he produced for everyone, now he can't anymore. So like,
Yeah.
the idea of that is always just like,
Well, that's
I get
just
why
the
it
art
happens,
world.
but it's just kind of shitty.
Yeah, that's the art world in general. The stuff doesn't become famous or valuable until that person can no longer produce anymore.
Yeah. Well, I guess that, I mean, and that is true coming to, you know, full circle with you know, pop hunting. You know, the less you have of something, the more it ends up being worth.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, right after Kobe Bryant passed, his Funko Pops were worth like $200 when, while he was still alive, they were worth like $10, $12. People, as soon as he passed, people immediately were like, I want a Kobe Bryant pop. And then they just started skyrocketing, which is just sad.
Yeah.
It's sad that it was like, dude, you would have been like, somebody would have been like, hey, can I have that? And you'd have been like, yeah, I don't care. And you would have given it to somebody. And now that it's worth like $200, you'd be like, nah. It's you want it $180. And it's like, dude, come on. You're profiting off of somebody's death, and that's messed up. Same thing happened with Black Panther Pops. All the Black Panther Pops started going up in value right after Chadwick Boseman
But so like
passed.
who do you think it's the demand that makes that skyrocket, or
Yeah.
the people setting the price? Like, is it just the
Well,
people
it's the
setting
people
the price?
setting price for sure, but also the demand.
Well,
for
because you
sure.
can't. I wouldn't necessarily say that you have to get mad at the demand. Like, if somebody, you know, wants something within the realm of possibility, like, it shouldn't be like that big of a deal.
No, because it's supply and demand. So like, you didn't want it until you were like, damn, all these are gonna be sold out now because he passed, and now I want one. Like, I didn't go out and buy a Black Panther pop because I don't collect Marvel. I didn't go, oh snap, Chadwick Boseman's dead, better go snatch me a Black Panther Funko Pop because that thing's gonna be worth like $300 someday. Like, I didn't think like that.
No, yeah, and that comes back to what I was kind of saying too. But then other people will just argue and just be like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get that bag." Like, I mean, and that just turns into, you know, resellers and people that use bots and stuff. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. Stop it. Especially with the PS5. Cut it out.
No. Keep doing it because it's gonna be funny.
How is it going to be funny? You think it's funny that you don't have one?
No, but it's going to be funny when 4 or 5 months down the line, or, you know, January 2022, when everything goes back to normal and the PS5s are finally in store and you can just go in and find one and I'll buy it. And those people that have 6 PlayStation 5s are going to be like, damn, I just need to get rid of these. $350, just give me $350 and you can have it. And I'll be like, yeah, remember when you were trying to sell it for $800? Yeah,
but a lot of people end up saying that, like, even if they do lose money like that, people that did that stuff, they already had the money to do it. So to them, it almost ends up seeing like it doesn't even
obviously they
bother
had
them.
the money to do it,
Well, yeah,
but still, at the end of it, if they buy 5 of them and they end up selling them for $350 when they paid like $500 plus shipping or whatever, they're gonna end up losing like $600.
To me, it ends up being like, and I won't completely play devil's advocate because I told you before I hated it. We went to Hot Topic one time to pick up, what was it? It was a Bakugo pop. You needed it, right? So
Yeah.
you and I went. I think
It's
Max.
not like I needed it, but
Well,
yes,
you needed
I'm
it for your
collecting the
collection.
My
Yeah.
Hero pops.
But you went. You were there early enough, and this guy bought all 6 of them, or however many they had.
not all of them, but they weren't.
He
There wasn't
bought-
a limit. He could buy 5 if he wanted.
Well, he bought 5 of them, and I think he might have bought like the last 5. And as he was walking away, you could see him like recording all of us and like talking to himself, like clearly trying to be like, "Look at all these suckers trying to buy this, and I got all 5." I'm like, okay, first of all, if it's something I don't necessarily want to completely say, like, yeah, those are kind of, you know, when they first get sold, like at a store like Hot Topic, they're only $10, $12. It's not anything massive. But when it comes to something like a PlayStation 5, like this is something that's going to clearly bring entertainment to either a person or a family or a gamer or someone who streams and stuff
or
like
a
that.
kid on Christmas.
Yeah, for, X amount of years. And yeah, pop is just kind of a collectible. So it's like, you want to, get your bag and you wake up early enough and you go out to, get stuff and then resell them to make a profit. Like that's, I can, level on it a little bit as long as you're not going to be a complete tool about it like that guy at the mall was. But the PS5s is just like, you're a heartless man.
Yeah.
I don't accept it.
I mean, I don't agree with you with the Funkos either, but because right away that Bakugo was selling for $75 when it was like, dang, I could have bought this at Hot Topic for $15 and somebody's like, yeah, but you want it? 75. Well, I ended up getting it at like 70 when I finally got it, and now he's worth like 100. So I'm like, all right, cool. I still made a little bit. Then I could have bought it for 15 and then been like, oh shit, he's worth 100 now.
How's that Nedgerate dude, Junior? She go up in price yet?
She's like 105, so she's gone up like $5 or whatever.
Cool.
But anyway, yeah. So just collecting. So what other stuff do you remember like collecting?
I mean, comics are a huge thing and definly still just as big
Well,
since when they originally came out.
But I'm talking about you specifically.
Me specifically, I don't know. I mean, we were around for the birth of Pokemon and the original, trading card game with
We already
that.
talked about how we didn't really collect them.
Well, okay, but you just asked me, so now I'm answering the question.
Okay, sorry. Touchy.
There was that. I do specifically remember that we did have a binder with some of like the cards that we kind of collected, but yeah, like
because we were collecting together.
Yeah, and again, like we didn't have, we were children when this happened. We were like 9, 10, or even 8 or around this. We didn't have like a job to just go out and be buying all these Pokemon cards.
We didn't have a job when we were 8.
Yeah, so it was more of like if we wanted it, and then mom and dad said it was cool to get at that time and point for us to do. So yeah, we didn't collect too many of that. I know, and again, still to this day, Magic the Gathering, the card game, has had a large collecting following. But I also
just
feel
Magic in general.
But I also feel like that one is it has such a huge community of people that still do like tournaments.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes with that, it's not so much like, oh, I have like this ultra rare card, like it's worth a bunch of money. Sometimes it's more like I have this ultra rare card because of the ability it has for me to completely like destroy all your forces. So I feel like that one at least is pretty cool in the sense of like, yeah, I use this because it's a game. You're still a gamer. Yeah, it's a game. So, and just recently Pokemon cards have like surfaced and circled into like being a huge, collectathon now.
Yeah, and resellers are definitely also hitting up the market with that. Some people don't even want to buy them and then open them to be like, I'm chasing that Charizard, because yeah, some of the Charizards are worth like $200, $300, some of them are worth like $1,000 or more. But some people don't even want to gamble that. It's like, oh, I just spent $50 on an elite trainer box or whatever, but I can sell that for $120, because if you open it, you might hit a huge super rare card and be like, oh, now I can like,
flip it, yeah.
flip this card and make my money 10 times over.
So it's essentially kind of like
if you
a mystery box. Is that not illegal for you to buy something from like a store and then just immediately resell it?
Hell no.
It's not? Okay.
Hell no.
I don't know how that works.
Put it on eBay. It's not like you're selling it back to the store. Like you're like, you want to buy this bag? $500. I'm like, what? Fuck no.
$800.
Oh my balls, that's too low. Yeah. No.
There was that, and again, like we mentioned before during the Pokemon, so Digimon's trading cards did not do. I don't even remember if they had like holographic cards or not. Those new Pokemon cards, what do you call them? It's some type of art.
Full art.
Yeah, the full art ones. Those ones are super badass.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't think they're cool or not. It's kind of the same thing. Like one of my really good friends, Mitch Tierney, and actually his roommate, another good friend of ours, Chuck, they love Magic, and they both told me before, like, oh, you should try to get into it. Mitch got me, I think when I was like 23, got me a deck for a birthday present, and he's like, maybe this will get you into buying more cards. And I'm like, thank you for the deck, because I love playing when I hang out with you guys. But no, I am not going to. I just don't want to spend the money.
I've never seen this deck. What happened to your deck?
It may or may not be at Mom and Dad's house. I might have brought it with me. I think it's still at Mom and Dad's house.
Damn, Mitch, hear that?
It was a swamp deck. It was pretty cool.
Shit.
But no, yeah. So there was that.
Well, you can get all the Magic cards you want at Target and Walmart because those aren't being sold out. Just the Pokemon ones.
Yeah. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh definitely still has that one. I feel like is
James just bought a whole bunch of them. I saw on Instagram.
Yeah, that one's I feel like in between Pokemon and Magic, to the point of like there's still a lot of people that are playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and you still have resellers that are like big on that like market. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. A while ago I was talking on the podcast about how I was rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh GX, which is just me fast forwarding through any part of the episode that wasn't the duels. I was watching 5Gs for a while, but I haven't like re-jumped into that. And again, all I was doing was watching the duels because they were my favorite parts. I do remember playing that a lot though. Growing up, we had, I don't know if it was like a deck per se, like not one that
Yu-Gi-Oh?
we built. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I mean, I remember playing a lot. But again, it used to be simpler. Now, like a good buddy of mine, Jeff, will just tell me, like, if you go to a tournament, like, games are won within, like, 2 turns. Like, because it's, like, you're only allowed to put out 1 monster on the field at a time, but if you special summon, you could put out, like, as many as you can. So someone will just be like, okay, is it my turn? Okay, yeah, I play this card, and then I play this fusion, and it special summons this, and then I play this trap card, which summons another card, and I attack with full force, and you're dead. And it's like... okay, I guess. It ends up kind of something I always do, even when we're playing with a normal deck of 52 cards, where I just always go believe in the heart of the cards. And that literally ends up being like what you do during a Yu-Gi-Oh match, because you hope that you grab the hand that's just going to immediately murder somebody.
Yeah.
It was funny to hear, if you were an avid watcher of the show, or even if you watched the first season, what is it, episode 1? No, it might be episode 1, where Yu-Gi-Oh pulls out Exodia. People would literally bring Exodia decks to like tournaments, where it would literally be nothing but their deck was like riddled with the different pieces to complete Exodia, and then like Pot of Greed Magic cards, which like, you play Pot of Greed and it lets you draw 2 additional cards. So because the moment I play Pot of Greed, the moment that you get all 5 pieces of Exodia, you play that and you immediately win. And that eventually I think just got banned from tournaments, which was just hilarious to know that people were getting away with that. What about you? Anything else you can think of that maybe you collected growing up?
Homies.
Ooh.
Remember Homies?
Yeah, I do remember Homies.
I had a shitload of them. It was like every time we went to go visit our cousins in Chicago, we'd like find those machines where you put the 2 quarters in, turn the little dial and get the little bubble out, and you'd open them up and see what homie you got.
You had a poster that had like all their names on it.
Yeah.
And we did have a large collection of those.
Yeah, because I had that semi truck in my room, and the back would like actually opened up, and I had all my homies in there. I wonder what happened to all those.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's 2 in my room. I don't know how.
Yeah, so I think Brian brought them. So I don't know if he found the semi that had all the homies in it. I don't know.
I don't remember. I remember we used to say like, oh, this one's me, and this one's you, and this one's Brian, and we assigned.
I remember some of the names. There was like Cue Ball and Sleepy and Droopy, Flaca.
There was a Felicia too that looked exactly like Felicia from the movie Friday.
Oh.
There was one guy who had like dreads and was in a breakdance move, and
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, and then there was AWB. Remember him? Angry White Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of those.
Yeah. I wonder where those came from. Like where someone was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Cause they were all over the city, and just you put that quarter in and you hope you got something good.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That was probably like, besides like the baseball cards and stuff that we got, and like, Pokemon here and there, I would say Homies. Homies was like the first thing that we collected.
Homies help homies.
I mean, when we played video games, like a lot of people didn't have huge collections of video games. Also Disney movies. That was technically like dad, but like we had an enormous collection of Disney VHSs.
But would you say we were buying them to collect them, or it's like
But usually it's like it ends up being a collection. A collection is just a big group of the same thing.
I understand that it does end up being a collection, but do you think that's the same collector's mentality?
No, because usually it's like this is gonna stay unopened forever, and no one's ever gonna touch it or anything.
Oh, speaking of unopened forever, which we didn't really mention that phrase. What was it, like Star Wars action figures was like a big thing too.
I mean, just action figures in general from back then, or a lot of stuff. I mean, people have been collecting things for a very long time. I mean, the comics were like around in the 40s and 50s and stuff. And I'm sure that there's comics.
Yeah, if anything from that era is in mint condition, it is worth a lot of money.
I'm pretty sure that like an original Superman where he's holding up the green car recently. Well, I say recent, it was probably within like the last 10 years, sold for like over $1 million, if not $100 million.
$1 million?
If not $100 million. Yeah. I mean, that's like from like 1938 or 9.
Jesus Christ.
Like 1938. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
There's artwork that is not that expensive.
Yeah. And it was probably made before that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some crazy stuff.
Oh man, I didn't know. Yeah, Jesus Christ. We were just at a comic shop not that long ago, and I remember looking in like the glass cases with some of the old comics, and I don't think anything was that insane.
Some of them were still kind of pricey.
Yeah.
There might have been one that was maybe around $1,000 that we saw.
No, yeah, but that one made more sense to me. I think I thought you were gonna say something around like 10 or 20K and not jump.
Oh no,
you said $1 million or $100 million. That's that's $99 million of a difference.
Yeah, but still $1 million for a comic book is still absurd.
Yeah. What do you think is something that you could own that could be ridiculously expensive that you still wouldn't part with, like collection wise? Like, is there any pop in your collection that you were like, I don't care if this was worth $100 million, I would still want to keep it? Or maybe like a set.
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if there's one, because, dude, we're talking about, like, if we're talking about a million, not even $100 million, just $1 million. I don't know if there's, that could do a lot. Like, I don't know if there's one pop where I was like, no way I'm getting rid of this when it's worth $1 million.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question. At what price do you think you're immediately going, okay, this is getting sold like right away?
Here's the thing. I've sold a pop for like $250 and it didn't sell right away. Like, Maybe because
you're putting it on the market though. You're putting it on the market.
Maybe because that one was specifically more niche, but
what does a niche mean?
Like niche is like your thing. Like our niche for this podcast is that we're nerds and we're doing a nerdy podcast.
I knew what that meant. I was asking more for the audience. So,
no, you weren't. It's like what's your niche?
Okay.
So like that one is like, even within the Funko Pop community, like I'm pretty sure people were like, this is pretty specific. Like you have to like really like this to want this one specifically. I don't know. Like maybe I don't know, dude. That's hard. Like honestly, anything like below like, I mean, we looked at like the most expensive pop, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like what, like 10,000 or something like that.
Something insane like that, yeah.
Or 8,000, something like that.
No, I think it was 10.
Yeah.
I think the next one under was probably like 8.
Yeah.
So you think if one made it to like 1,000, you think ituld be time to sell?
No. See, that's the thing. Like, I think it would have to be like 5 to 10,000 before I'm like, this is going up on the market. Because I would be like, because there's like a lot, not a lot, but they're like the $1,000 pops are more common than like a $5,000 pop. So like, I think I'd be like, I have a $1,000 pop in my collection. Like it'd be kind of cool just to have one.
That is true. Okay.
So, and I've seen a $1,000 pop in person.
In person?
Yeah.
What, at the antique store?
Not the one that we go to, but one that me and Megan went to at in Indiana. that toy store that I told you about that we should go to, Kokomo Toys. They had like a metallic Skeletor or whatever. I think it was like 1,000 or it was like $1,100. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, like I was saying, definitely started probably with like homies and stuff, and then I didn't really get into, I don't know, like I said, video games.
Well, yeah, we used to like I remember thinking back, we had, I think, for like our friends, we had like the largest collection of PS2 games.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had because it was like each of us bought, we would keep our shit together, but it was like, I want this game, you want a different game, Brian wants a different game. So it was like if all three of us got a game at the same time, that was 3 new games. And then, a couple times, maybe once a month, we get like a new game or something like that. And, in a year, that's a turnaround of at least 36 games plus birthdays plus Christmas. So yeah, like within a couple of years, we had a lot.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't I know that we did, and obviously we're alive to the point that we didn't kill each other over it. But I don't remember how well we were at sharing. Because like you said, like, if all 3 of us got a game at the same time, like I don't remember what the decision process was for who got to play first / how long did we get to play before we had to hand over the controller and, switch the game out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember either. But a lot of times we would also just kind of be like, all right, this person bought the game, so they're playing the majority of it.
Well, that would be a difference if like it was only one new game. Obviously, yeah, same thing. Yeah, if you bought a new game, I wouldn't come home and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna play it first. Like, no.
Yeah, but we shared it. That's why I said there was a bunch of games that I was like, I definitely was there for the beginning all the way to the end of the game, but I didn't play the entire game myself because we would have passed the control along a lot.
Yeah.
With like the Jack and Daxter games and other games alike, just like that.
Very true, very true.
But yeah, we had a pretty big collection of PS2 games. Like I said, movies. And, so yeah, for me recently, it's Funko. I don't know why. Like, the thing is, Funko's been around for a long time. But I didn't like, I would see them in stores and some of them I was like, oh, these are kind of cool or whatever. But it was never my thing. And it just happened that one time we went to GameStop and I saw that Gamer Mickey and that Gamer Mini. And I was like, oh, these would be really cool. And I can set them up next to my PlayStation in the living room and they'll just be kind of like cool 2 little characters. And then what happened was I bought the Mickey at our GameStop. Mm-hmm. They told me that the Mini was at the Oswego GameStop, so I had to go to a different town. And then when I was there to get that one, I saw some other. I just was like, oh, let me look at what other Funkos they have. And then I was like, oh, look, they have this one. Oh, they have this one. And then I bought a few more. And then it just snowballed. And then I realized that they just made Funkos for like everything that I loved. And then I started getting like Avatar and
Did you research it first though and like see kind of the kind of revenue you could maybe get like on a
absolutely not.
You just started immediately collecting?
Absolutely, yeah. No. I didn't even know that there was like I remember like looking up videos on YouTube to understand what other people on YouTube were talking about. Like I was like, I didn't know what flocked was. I didn't know what chase meant. I didn't know what convention exclusive shared sticker. All these words were completely brand new to me. People were like, oh, I'm trying to get that chase. And I'm like, what is a chase? Like, what does that mean?
Why are you running after this box?
Yeah. Like, what does flocked mean? All this crap. I had to look all that up to find out what it was. And I started collecting right before the San Diego Comic-Con convention stuff was coming out. So that was like the first con stuff that I was getting. Then there was mystery boxes and pay some money and we'll send you some pops and you might get lucky and get something really, really good, which one of my first ones is how I got the Brook from One Piece, which at the time was worth like $80 and now it's worth like $500. So like it totally went up. But yeah, it snowballed. Within a month I had like 50 pops. And here we are like 2 years later, and I probably have like close to, if not 1,000 pops.
That is a lot. There is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can see them all.
Yes,
'cause they're
I can
behind
see
the
them
camera.
all. There's so many. You have so many still in bags and stuff.
Yep, unopened. I have so many unopened that I haven't gone through. I have mystery boxes I haven't opened up to find out what I got yet.
It's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, my
I
collection.
think James would cream his pants if he walked in here.
Yeah. My collection is now worth over 14. No, more.
No, yeah, I'm pretty
My
sure.
collection's worth over $18,000.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
I have not spent anywhere near that, but my collection's worth over $18,000.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing.
I also, and I got you into it now a little bit too.
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm really into it. It's more of like
Don't bullshit me. I was like, dude, look at these, and you're like, I want that. I want that whole set.
But that was only because I feel like that's only
That's
because
happened a few times.
I really like. What was it? I think the original ones was the League of Legends ones, and then I just
it started for you specifically, yes, but if we're being technical, all of my One Piece, with the exception of Brook, are yours. Like, you paid for them.
Oh, but it was more like I
you were
just
like,
thought it
"No,
was
you
cool.
just keep
I thought it
them."
was cool. Yeah, well, I thought it was cool to just kind of add, like, if you got all the Straw Hat Pirates together, I think that
Yeah.
would be like a nice addition to your collection. But yeah, for me, I think it was just the League of Legend characters that they put out there, and then
But
you
you
had
haven't
already,
completed those yet.
no, I haven't. And then you had already given me My Chemical Romance pop. And then
Yeah.
I think like a Miles Morales pop. You just because you had doubles and you were like, here, you could just have.
I also
these.
gave you a Spider-Man from Homecoming with headphones
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
and the power line.
Oh, I always forget I have Powerline just because of like the
Yeah.
tiny little shelf I have is filled up now.
Exactly. It's filled up. Exactly.
But I think the ones that I end up really liking, or it's not like you don't collect Marvel, and I'm not going to say that I'm going to, lucratively start just searching for all of the Marvel pops, but it was all the Blacklight Marvel that has come out. I really like those. And then I got the Gamerverse Marvel ones because
You got the game.
yeah, because I got the game, and the ones like at the end of the game where like Tony gives everybody an upgrade, I thought looked really cool. So I have all of those for like the main heroes, and then Taskmaster and MODOK. I think the only thing I don't have is the Chase versions.
Yeah,
Of the other characters, which I didn't
there's
really
only a
necessarily-
chase of the Black Widow one, and then the rest of them got like exclusives. Like some
Yeah,
of them are
random
glow in the
ones.
dark, some of
Yeah,
them are
those ones.
whatever.
Yeah, again, those ones I didn't really care about, and then now it's these like. Essentially, you told me like I don't know if that's what like the creator of these pops said, but what it ends up looking like, it's like Transformers mixed with Marvel characters.
Yeah, and it's called like Mech Strike.
Yeah,
'Cause
Mech Strike.
I showed you that there's like comics.
Yeah,
from.
of it too. So like I think those ones look really badass too. But I'll tell you to a certain extent, like those ones, if I had a spot for it. Like
Well, you
especially-
got PlayStation ones too. You started
Oh
collecting
yeah,
some
those
of
ones,
those.
those ones for the main characters. But I feel like that feeds more off of like my gamer energy.
Right.
Like those ones could probably become super expensive, but I would still be like, yeah, but this is like, these are characters that I know and love, and that's the reason why I wanted to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there is a little bit of a collector mentality.
That's
right
what I'm
there.
saying. I think but I gotta say there's like what, maybe 5 across, and they go maybe like 3 or 4 up, and there's like it's double.
It's only double, yeah,
front
yeah,
back.
yeah.
So like, yeah,
I think I have some games sitting on.
You've got to get close to 50. I think you're close to 50.
No, I don't think I'm close to 50. Maybe 40.
But you have some that are just sitting that don't go
If
in the
it's
shelf.
if it's 5 up and 3 over, then I'd only be at 30 if with the shelf being full. So
Not 3 over, like 3 across, like
5 over and 3 up. That's only 15.
yeah, but it might be 4 up. It might even be 5 up.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you're getting close to 50.
But yeah.
Maybe 40.
But anyways, like I'm not trying to like what your setup down here is nowhere near. Like I don't even necessarily want a bigger shelf. Like if anything, it almost ends up feeling like I'd rather just find a different place to store my video games, because I have like a tiny shelf there where I have all my
Yeah.
PS4 and PS5 games. And
Dude, and then what
eventually I'm gonna have to retire my PS4 games.
Yeah.
Once I'm done with them.
what ends up happening is that then you have to make the decision, like, even though you know that you have them, like, which ones do I want in the front to be displayed, because I think that these are the most cool ones that I have. And that's what my issue is that I end up, like right now, I'm reorganizing my shelves because I'm like, it's time for some of these to come forward because I think like, these look really cool.
Once, in eventuality and hopefully like I have like my own place or me and my girl get our own place, like it'll be more of, kind of displaying them or putting them in a place where like I like to have them. I definitely don't think like I don't want to like keep them like locked up somewhere in a room or like they end up gathering dust in the garage. If I couldn't
in the garage,
if I couldn't necessarily put them on like display or something, or for whatever reason, like I think I'd rather just probably tell you like, here, keep them here with your collection or whatever. But yeah.
I mean, I would, like I said, I would hope that, in a room. I mean, I have them in a room.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
you and Megan have like a really nice like shelf in your room where you guys keep. Well, I think that's mainly just
Megan's
her pops.
collection.
Yeah, her pops. Yeah.
See, I got you and Megan into do it, and Amaya.
Yeah, but Amaya and Max, like the pops that they have,
them.
they open them and they like them as like toys and stuff.
Yeah, but still, like Amaya's like, Dad, I want this one for my collection. She says it, my collection.
Isn't that sweet?
She opens them, but like most of the ones that she gets like aren't really worth anything
except for that Jack and Sally.
Yeah, I did like gift her. Yeah, I did like gift her like a few where I was just like,
no, not the Jack and Sally. What is it? It's the Lilo,
the Stitch Angel, and the little Scruff toy 3-pack that I got her, which is like a $40 3-pack from Hot Topic. I bought one for myself, and then she opened hers, and I was like, she like ripped off the top, and I was just like, well, that's how you ruin a $40 pop. But I can't think about it that way. I'm just like,
she was just happy
I have mine for me. Mine are in box, and she wants to take hers out. That's fine. Yeah. It's not like later on she's gonna be like, I can't believe you let me open this. Like, nah, you wanted to play with them.
All right, guys. Well, rounding about, getting close to the end of the show. Junior, what's this next part we got for them now?
Well, just real quick, I just little last thing I wanted to mention was, got into Funko Pops, have a shitload, and then Funko's also put out like new soda figures, and there's just like a lot of things where I'm like, I'm not gonna get into stuff, and then I end up getting into it. But so the soda figures are really cool. They come in like soda cans, and you open them up, and those are cool because they're way more limited. Like only 20,000 are made, and Funko's is like could be huge numbers, like 100,000, 200,000 got made. So they're not as limited. So I think the soda figures will probably at some point become rare and eventually probably be worth more money than some of the Funkos. But yeah, Funko's put out a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, also collected shoes for a minute too. But yeah, now I'm getting rid of about half of my shoes, but I'm keeping some of them that I like really like. But last two segments, the first one being Tito's movie review. And this is a part of the show where I ask Tito to watch a movie and I don't tell him anything about it. And then he watches it and then he tells me what he thought. And Tito, this week I had assigned to you the Grand Budapest Hotel. So why don't you tell us about it?
Get your hands off of you, fascist asshole. I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Such a great movie. It was as you explained, a story within a story within like a story.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, what is it? It starts with a lady reading a book.
Right.
And then it turns into the author of that, like how he's like wording the start of his book.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talks about how he met the owner of the Grand Budapest Hotel. And then the owner tells him the story of how he ended up becoming the owner. And that's like the main meat of the entire movie. And it was, oh my God, it was fantastic. So many big names in the movie that I didn't expect to see. Harvey Keitel, Edward Norton, Flash Thompson from the newer Spider-Man movies was in it. The guy that played Voldemort and also the villain from the movie Red Dragon, who I also don't know his name.
Ralph Fiennes.
Which one was that? Is that Voldemort?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then the guy that...
Adrian Brody.
Willem Dafoe.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that plays Dumbledore in the newer Harry Potter movies.
Jude Law.
Jude Law. I don't know why I forgot about Jude Law, but yeah, it was
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum was in it too. Oh my
Bill
gosh.
Murray.
It's fantastic. Fantastic movie. I enjoyed every second of it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, going into it, I remember seeing trailers for it all the time and thinking like, oh, this looks kind of like it might be kind of funny, and it was hilarious. There was so many parts of that movie, a little bit of like murder mystery. They had funny parts. There was drama. It was so good. I don't think explaining it could ever do it any type of justice. And just telling you that lineup and seeing the just pure excitement on my face, like I recommend this like tenfold. I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10 to just, oh my God. I loved it. I love that movie. Would definitely watch it again within the next week. Totally.
It's so funny.
It was so good.
All right, Tito.
Yes.
3 weeks in a row, you have gotten it wrong, but this time you've actually gone in the opposite direction.
What did IMDb give it?
IMDb has it at an 8.1.
But it's still, like, I feel like that's still a good ranking.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, just out of curiosity, I'm wondering what, like, Rotten Tomatoes has.
I can't imagine that they would have given it a bad score just because of, like, what they did with it. But it was, oh, man.
Yeah, the movie's fantastic. Let's see. Rotten Tomatoes has the Grand Budapest Hotel at a 92.
What is
a 92?
What percentage is for? What is
It's certified fresh.
Oh,
it's
it's
like,
certified fresh.
It's like
Okay.
90 and above.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
So basically, what you had given it,
yeah,
like a 9 out of 10.
yeah. It's on Amazon Prime right now. If you have it and you haven't seen it, I 100% could not recommend this movie more.
Yeah,
It's
really,
a
really
good,
funny.
really good watch. It was like an hour and 45 minutes, but such a good watch.
Yeah. Yeah. It's from 2014. But yeah,
Really?
like
Is that old?
yeah,
Oh wow,
it's from 2014.
summer 2014.
Summer 2014. But yeah, it's from 2014. Really funny. Yeah, it's like a murder mystery, but also kind of like just like you said, just kind of following the life of the lobby boy,
The Lobby Boy and the Concierge.
the lobby boy Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, really funny movie. Great movie. You should totally watch it. Tito, for this week,
What do you got for me?
I am assigning to you the movie Amadeus.
Amadeus. Isn't that a song?
Uh,
No, maybe not.
yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes. But that's the movie,
Okay.
Amadeus.
Where can I watch it? Let's see if maybe other people.
I
will
have
start
it on
watching
DVD.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
I have it. So you can watch it here
Come over,
whenever
guys.
you want. All right. As our final segment, the question of the week. My dumbass forgot to post it on Instagram. But then again, if you listen to the podcast, I give it out in the podcast. So also shame on you for not
Yeah, come on,
responding
guys.
to me.
Reach out. We would definitely like to get to the point. It'd be so, like, I would say, like, obviously, it'd be awesome if, like, 100 people reached out and we had to review all of them.
Actually,
but
well,
at this point,
yeah.
like, if 10 people reached out and said, like, what they wanted their question of the week to be, would be fantastic.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, most people, like right
Just
now, we've had
expose
like a couple
ourselves.
people. We've had a couple people reach out, and most of the time, I'm like, all right, like 2 or 3 people reached out. I'm just gonna read all their answers out. But yeah, once we get a bunch of people reaching out, I am just gonna be like picking like 1, maybe 2.
Don't be afraid, guys. Just even if you're too shy and you don't want to talk, just give us an answer to the question of the week. We'd love to hear from you guys.
So this week I had asked if you could have any show or movie remade today, what would you want remade? And you said the
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you not give an answer yourself?
no.
Why don't you give your
most
answer
of the time?
yourself,
Most of the times I don't. So yeah, I'm gonna give my own answer,
Yeah.
and I am going to say fuck. No, I actually, what I would say is being remade, and that's the Blade movies. Although I really, really loved the original Blade movie, I am beyond excited for them remaking it just with like the technology now, and I can't wait for like an R-rated Marvel movie to come out again. So I'm super excited for that. So yeah.
All right, so what's the new question
But
then, my
for
dude?
this week, the question of the week is, since we talked about collecting, what's something you had as a child that is probably highly collectible now, or you just wish that you still had, that you'd never gotten rid of it? Might not even be highly valuable, but just something that you're like, damn, I wish I had this.
I wish I still like had like all the components and immediately within reach my Nintendo 64.
Okay.
And I never got to play it. And I wish I had a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day, which actually goes for a lot of money, like nowadays.
So like Super Smash Brothers, that goes for like $80, I think.
Yeah. So that would be it for me, because like there was for a while I did know where it was, my Nintendo, and then I think like one of the controllers. But I think whenever I played, I would hang out with Troy because he had extra cables. But yeah, somewhere through time, like stuff got lost, and now I don't even know where it's at. I wish I still did.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, guys. That's going to be it for this episode. So, Tito, where can the people find you?
You guys can always reach out to me on Twitter and Instagram at BanditoTito93. Send me a DM or just at me on Twitter. Let me know what you guys like about the episode. Let me know any stuff that you guys want to hear, or just reach out and talk to me about anything nerdy. I'm always down to nerd out. Junior, what about you?
You guys can find me on the block disobeying the law. No, you guys can at me at pops.maniac on Instagram, as well as nerdy.bros.inc on Instagram. Also, I will be uploading a video to YouTube for my Pops channel on Friday. So you guys can check out those videos that are not related to the podcast at all. But that's going to be it for this. Oh, also, I did a podcast episode with Jameezy3000. So check him out. I don't know when he'll be uploading that, but whenever he does, make sure that you go and check that out, because I was a guest on his podcast. So, yeah, but that's going to be it. Thanks for listening, guys.
Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.